You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast. You're listening to an Airwave Media Podcast.
I feel audio. I think that you do too from everything that you were saying. Even when somebody's editing audio, I'm like, close your eyes and just listen to the whole thing. I just feel it so crazy. But I love having a different kind of experience at our film festival.
Hi, my name is Blake, and I have just a quick note before we get started. This is a bonus episode, so if you haven't listened to the show before, I would recommend you go back to Season 1, Episode 1 first. You can also just stay here, either one's cool. In any event, welcome to Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast. I've been fortunate that All American Ruins has been able to travel all over the world, with installations in England, Wales, Peru, Croatia, Italy, France, Sweden, Switzerland, Australia, New Zealand, and the United States. Every once in a while, a festival comes along that really intrigues me, either because of its location or a particular initiative or program that pushes the bounds of media storytelling. The Garden State Film Festival, located in Asbury Park, New Jersey, is one such festival, namely their accessibility program called Cinema for the Ears. Garden State Film Festival sees this as an immersion program for people who are blind or have low/no vision. In a bold move to expand the boundaries of cinematic storytelling, the Garden State Film Festival recognizes the importance of accessibility and inclusivity in the arts. By forging Cinema for the Ears, the festival seeks to elevate the art of audio storytelling and provide a platform for creators to showcase their talent in a new and immersive format. In today's bonus episode, you'll get to meet the executive director of the Garden State Film Festival, who also happens to be the creator of its Cinema for the Ears program, Lauren Conker-Sheehy. Aside from being a relaxed and enjoyable conversation, you'll get to learn why Cinema for the Ears at the Garden State Film Festival is especially personal to her. I hope you'll join us at the Berkeley Oceanfront Hotel in Asbury Park, New Jersey, on March 29th at 9:45 a.m. for the Garden State Film Festival's groundbreaking immersion program Cinema for the Ears, for a special presentation of Abandoned, the All-American Ruins podcast, followed by a Q&A with both the participants of the Cinema for the Ears program and Garden State Film Festival staff.
I'm Lauren Conker-Sheehy. I'm the executive director of the Garden State Film Festival. I live in Colts Neck, New Jersey, and I'm also a senior production specialist at Brookdale Television at Brookdale Community College.
Lauren, it is so nice to get to talk to you for so many different reasons. I think primarily because I have been looking for a reason to go to Asbury Park for years at this point. It was just one of those places that I never got to. So can you set the tone of the Garden State Film Festival?
The Garden State Film Festival is a multi-day of fun for the filmmakers and the attendees. We're going on our 23rd year, and we have an amazing board of directors, and our staff and our crew are amazing, and we run it like a shoot. So everything with our production brains, we have everything from pre-production to on-set production, and then post-production and wrap-up. This year, we have 204 films from 14 countries.
I think in an ocean of film festivals, especially with the dawn of Film Freeway, it can be really easy to get lost in the weeds a little bit. And something that immediately stuck out to me about Garden State Film Festival was the fact that you're 23 years strong. So I don't know if you have information about the beginnings of the festival, but could you give us a little bit of history on it?
Sure. The fabulous Diane Raver founded the Garden State Film Festival. And then thanks to Brookdale, I've been involved since the beginning. But Diane and the festival had me at day one. I was really spoiled, and I had television production in high school. So I was able to take it all 4 years. And I knew I wanted to work in television and film. And my parents didn't really comprehend it at the time. But it was so great to have that path and then to meet Diane. I was producing a story on it, and I just fell in love, and I immediately became a volunteer. And I always say I drank the Kool-Aid 23 years ago, and it's been really fantastic. Diane has been a really wonderful mentor and friend, and it's very Jersey that once you become a part of the festival, your family. Let me get out the Jersey hairspray. Just kidding. But it's really interesting to see how this started at a kitchen table and to see how it's been 23 years. And each year we just keep pushing and we're like, oh my God, how are we going to do it? It's just been a really wonderful ride. And I'm really excited for the next 23 years plus.
I love the pathway from volunteer to executive director. I think that speaks to the festival's mission. I think it speaks to your tenacity and your own dedication to the mission of the festival. Can you tell us what the mission of the festival is and how it stands out in that sea of festivals?
The Garden State Film Festival was founded to promote the art of filmmaking on all levels by showcasing a wide variety of films, video, and animated works, as well as provide educational programs in the creative arts to the public by industry leaders. And we do this at the annual festival, but we have year-round outreach, year-round screenings, and just year-round fun.
Something that I have been really fascinated by over the course of the past, I'd say, year is as my work has matriculated into different festivals, both the All American Ruins podcast and the short films that I produce under the banner of that project, I'm always struck by how programming teams assemble something like a 204 slate roster. That's a huge responsibility. Can you tell me a little bit about how Garden State Festival is curating that lineup?
So it's a huge feat, but thanks to our jury, we have the films, we have the screenplay competition and the movie music competition. And there's different juries for all of that. We have the online system and everybody can watch everything and rate it and come together with meetings and go through it and duke it out over different films and whatnot. But it is quite a task. It's so many films to watch. And it's really lovely to have wonderful individuals that are industry leaders and professionals in their own right come together and be on the individual juries.
It's such an arduous task, and also I would imagine a lot of fun. Can you tell me a little bit about what it was that got you into filmmaking when you were younger?
I got into filmmaking because when I was younger, I used to watch Turner Classic Movies, black and white, with the subtitles on with my grandmother. She kept the audio muted and had the subtitles on and would do her crosswords. And I was like, what's going on here? But I fell in love with it. And then that led me to taking TV in high school and even earlier volunteering. And when I was a student at Brookdale, I then became the student lab assistant. I just liked the technical side of getting everything ready. So I produce, direct, and edit. And that's just been instilled in me. Oh, and Headbangers Ball. I used to record MTV on my RCA VHS deck. And it was amazing, just getting ready to hit stop. So I was doing tape operation when I was a kid, not realizing what the heck I was doing. And I was that person that if we had a class trip for a play or something, I actually waited in line to get the audio technician's signature instead of the actors. I'll never forget. The guy was probably freaking out whenever I would go over. Because who does that? Nobody does that. But I was like, this is so important. Oh, and in high school, I did the audio. So for the plays, I wasn't on stage. I was behind the scenes and leave class early to set up the wired microphones. And behind the stage, I had the script and I would hit play on the music and everything on the cassette tape. We're going back. And then I learned to edit without a computer. So I was, a dinosaur editor. And then when the computers came out, now it's amazing you could hit undo. But before, you kind of had to talk to yourself out loud if you were going to do a transition. You had to make a freeze frame, then go back and take it and do the transition. So it was wild.
I always feel fortunate when I come across a festival team who clearly knows what they're doing. And you said two things that are such a perfect lead-in to talk about what we're really here to talk about today, which is cinema for the ears. The first thing you said was Turner Classic Movies. Now, All American Ruins, in many ways, was born out of my deep, deep love and fascination for not just vintage filmmaking, but also vintage radio plays. When I was a kid, there was a radio station in my hometown in Colorado, and every single night they would play 3 hours of classic radio dramas. And so at a really young age, that coupled with my early exposure to Alfred Hitchcock films, I was sort of thrust into this idea that you're talking about of what storytelling specifically for film and radio looked like. And so there is a lot of inspiration actually in this body of work that comes from my deep fascination for that time period and the kinds of storytelling they were doing. I think something that has been so gratifying about my journey with All American Ruins is every once in a while, I will come across a festival or an organization or an entity that clearly understands what I'm doing. And when I found out about Cinema for the Ears, I was just so delighted for so many different reasons. But I'm going to stop talking. I would love to hear about the creation of that program and why it is that you started it.
So I suffer from challenges with my vision and a rare eye thing where my eyeballs literally get inflamed and push on the nerves behind, and then I can't speak or move or cry or anything. And so the Garden State Film Festival has been on the forefront of ADA and accommodations since day one, thanks to our founder, Diane Raber. Anyone who is wheelchair or other mobility device user, they get free access for them and their helper or aide. The film festival has always been thinking about ADA at many different levels and capacities. I feel audio. I think that you do too from everything that you were saying. Even when somebody's editing audio, I'm like, close your eyes and just listen to the whole thing because you're going to feel those bad edits. If you have to go back and put a 2-frame dissolve somewhere to help something or pull it out, like you feel audio in JAWS. You feel it if it's, supposed to stop your blood pressure, raise your blood pressure or whatever it is. And I just feel it so crazy. But I love having a different kind of experience at our film festival. Another amazing thing with the Garden State Film Festival, we have the GSFF Jitney Express. So Asbury is a, big city by the sea. So you can come and park one spot and then get on the jitney and take the jitney to all of the venues if you want on Saturday and Sunday. And it is ADA compliant. And if it is raining, he'll come up as close as possible to the building so that it's easy for everybody to get on. But I'm really thrilled and excited. We have something for all the senses.
It's so fabulous. Something that I hadn't considered until I came across this particular program, because there are web festivals that have a podcast category. Tribeca has their audio storytelling category, but specifically Cinema for the Ears was really interesting to me. And it made me start thinking about, there's been this national conversation, I'd say for like a decade at this point, about representation. But I never thought about flipping the camera around and what it means to have not just representation on our screens or on our radios, but also to have representation in how we're consuming media and storytelling. For this year's particular small batch of programs in Cinema for the Ears, what was it that you think the team was looking for in terms of the kinds of stories they wanted to include in that program?
There were a couple of things that we wanted to make sure hit the mark, that it was more auditory description and that yours says captions also, which I loved. We really wanted to make sure to have those ADA components. And we were just looking for something that kind of fit it. I don't know how to explain it. It just is a feeling going through the submissions. And there's so many submissions. It's really wonderful to see. And I'm so grateful that we have All American Ruins and to bring your stories to life. Like even with your audio, just closing my eyes and thinking back to, like, you feel like you're in the home with her and her voice too. Like you really thought it through before casting and getting everything done. And just that feeling that you're in that house.
I float to the front of this strange ruin, looking for a way in, and find an entrance with a tilted porch. As I pass through the rickety door with ease, my imagination ignites. I fall back in time. It's 1955.
That's what I was hoping for with the project. I came across a lot of people over the course of building the original blog, because this was never supposed to be anything. It was a way for me to pass the time during COVID. And then I started writing about it, and friends started catching on. And a lot of people expressed that they were so interested in coming into the spaces with me, but they were afraid because I'm often sort of bending the rules a little bit. And so what I thought was, well, I have always been so drawn to audio as a way to ignite the imagination. I think nothing else in our senses palette is able to ignite the human imagination the way that audio does. And so I thought, what if I just build little immersive, fantastical soundscapes so people can also not just come into the physical spaces and learn a little bit about the history and what the cultural and political implications might be, but also just take a dive into my imagination like I did when I was a kid. So I was really thrilled that y'all understood it. And I try to be strategic about what episode I submit where. And I was really intentional about submitting a sort of seaside town episode to Garden State Film Festival, because I thought this is a setting that that team surely understands and knows. A beach town is specific. It's such a specific vibe. I should mention to you, too, that Elizabeth Henry, who's the actress who plays Mrs. Dalby, she's a Jersey girl, born and bred, and so she's going to join me at the festival as well. She's really, really excited, and obviously, as a good Jersey girl, deeply in love with her home state.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing. I know, us Jersey girls have to stick together.
Can you tell folks how they can get involved and or how they can come experience the festival?
To experience the festival, you can buy tickets live in person during the event, but we strongly recommend buying them in advance if you can online. If you go to gsff.org, because we are a nonprofit organization, and you can go to tickets, it's fun mayhem, all over Asbury Park and Cranford. So we present in 2 counties simultaneously, which is amazing, because let's say if you didn't want to drive all the way down, or you can take the train to Cranford and then you can hop back on if you wanted to.
Can't thank you enough for bringing All American Ruins into the fold. Again, the website is
gsff.org for gardenstatefilmfestival.org, because we're a 501c3 nonprofit and we need your support.
Excellent. Well, Lauren, so nice to chat with you. And again, thank you for having All American Ruins at the festival. And I look forward to seeing you in March.
Thanks, me too.
If you're just tuning in, welcome to the 3rd season of Abandoned, the All American Ruins podcast. I hope you enjoyed this special bonus episode. Now, if you're new here, welcome. Join me every other week as I take you on immersive sonic journeys, recounting my expeditions of abandoned spaces from across the United States and around the world, which I transform into fantastical audio experiences that allow you, dear listener, to dive into my imagination with me, or maybe inspire you to go out and use your own. If you don't want to miss it, please subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and please rate and review. Also, if you like to read or enjoy amateur photography, just know that each episode this season is adapted from the original All American Ruins blog. Just go to allamericanruins.com, or you can follow me on Instagram at allamericanruins. Abandoned, the All American Ruins podcast is hosted, written, edited, and produced by me, Blake File, with studio space courtesy of Radio Kingston, WKNY, AM 1490, FM 1079 in Kingston, New York. Special thanks to Ida Hakala, Jimmy Buff, and Manuel Blas for the mentorship and encouragement, to you, the listener, for taking the time to explore these abandoned spaces with me, and Lauren for sharing her story today.